Welcome to the Big Easy, 150 years and going strong.
The city of New Orleans has never seen a hurricane of this strength to hit it almost directly.
If I lived in New Orleans, I'd be getting out of there.
If it should stay on that current trajectory, just east of downtown New Orleans, that's bad.
Pray for us. Pray for all of New Orleans.
There have been all kinds of hurricanes that have come through. None of them could truly devastate the area.
When I attended the JCCA biennial in Montreal, I could have never imagined that this could happen to our community, and that, you know, basically we're at a point right now where we have to start all over again. We have obviously a long history of strong leadership and determination to keep this community going, and I think we will.
We're walking through a neighborhood that a lot of our JCC members lived in, and this neighborhood, run up to some of these doors, there'd be mezuzahs on the doorposts, and the neighborhood is now pretty much gone. It looked like a movie set of a disaster movie. Cars on top of cars, houses that floated into the middle of the street, houses that were broken in half.
We literally came in on a boat into the foyer here, and the water by that point was about 2.5 feet, but the water line that you can still see here was, 5.5 feet or so.
We're still in shock, obviously, because there's no way to describe when you lose everything that you've ever had. And it's not just the material things, it's really the personal items, the videos, the photographs.
Katrina has impacted our community on so many levels. Our homes are destroyed or in terrible need of repair. Some of us, our homes are fine, and our businesses are destroyed by the flood. But one of the other layers that you just don't anticipate is how families have been divided. I've been told that the divorce lawyers are busy right now.
I saw my clients on rooftops and in front of the Superdome.
And this is just a big shock. I mean, that's about all that's left, just the sign. I'm surprised that's hanging. So we said, well, we'll close, and we put up a sign that we would be back in a day or two, and back open and serving the people again. I said, this is a little difficult in a way for me to come here because all the years I was on the contributing side. And she said, let me just tell you something. You have to understand, you're Jewish and you're in need. See, they were just wonderful. They absolutely let us know that they were there to support us and help us, and they had gift cards to places. We had to replace everything, and it was so comfortable, and they made it feel to us that it was their privilege to do this.
It's the diaspora. We're scattered all over the country, all of us. And somehow, people are still seeking help from Jewish Family Service. What do I do now? Where do I go? How do I get help?
The Jewish community came to our help. It was wonderful to be part of a caring community.
We've really witnessed everyone's really finest hour. JFS did these $700 grants. They're now doing relocation assistance. Never in our wildest dreams did we think that we would make the kind of difference in people's lives that we have been able to make. And I think that JFS's staff in particular probably feels that because they are dealing with people on a one-to-one basis.
And Irene from Jewish Family Service, I called her in New Orleans, she said, Jewish Family Service helping every Jew who left town, you will get your grant for $700. And it was, we got this almost about Thanksgiving's last year. I was so happy. We went with my husband to Burlington factory. We bought coat for me, coat for him. We were so happy and we had plenty of money to spend for our needs.
Any trauma or stressors that were pre-existing from Katrina, Katrina only enhanced them. For instance, if there was difficulty in a relationship, job stresses, if they were thinking about changing, Katrina brought a lot of that to the forefront. A lot of people realize now they have to make some major life decisions.
One of the challenges that we've been facing since Katrina is definitely an increase in suicidality in adolescents. In the same way that adolescents are acting out with substance abuse, sexual behavior, and other kinds of dramatic behaviors, they're also often playing with the idea of suicidality in a much more concrete way.
We drove north not knowing where to go. We ended up in Nashville. And I looked in the phone book and I looked up JCC. And I went to the JCC of Nashville. And huge welcoming. They, even from the moment I stepped in at the front desk.
And so we found housing literally 1 block from the Houston JCC. It's nice that you can go to another community and recognize that there's a JCC right there that can help you feel like you're in a community that's home.
I'm eternally grateful to JCC and Federation in Nashville because with that, I think I might have lost my mind a little bit. It was open from the beginning, and I think that was a good statement for the Jewish community that we're not going anywhere, and it was a safe haven. It was comforting walking back into New Orleans, driving back into New Orleans, and then going back to JCC here. It was the safe haven.
Literally the first day we were back in town, our son Adam is playing basketball at the JCC with all his same JCC basketball buddies, and you know, that actually in itself was a real sense of comfort.
Well, the fact that FEMA was here, I mean, the fact that the JCC was the location for FEMA. I mean, the JCC provides for so many types of people, and then I think it's very symbolic. You know, it's about healing and helping people get on their feet.
As members of the Jewish community, we have been taught, we have been raised to help people and to do tzedakah. And we are now trying to help our community understand that it's okay to be on the receiving end, that we need help to rebuild our lives.
As one pundit put it, we're in a marathon, this is not a sprint. We've got a long way to go, and we're appreciative of the support that we've received from the entire Jewish community throughout the country.
We were able to actually gather our thoughts, come up with an outline for a recovery plan. And this recovery plan, we knew needed to go beyond just our agency, but actually help pull in the rest of the Jewish community and the other agencies in the Jewish community.
I guess don't forget us, because it's still very hard.
I am optimistic about the agency. I think that there will always be a Jewish community here, and it will always be a caring community. It's an old Jewish community here. We've been around for a long time, and we'll continue to be, and it'll have its ups and downs.
We are rejuvenating our soul, our spirit. That's what New Orleans has always been about, the soul and spirit.
I think the story that you've all told in the last half an hour is everybody was affected by this. It's not just about whether you lost your house.
That's right.
That's the powerful story here, and that is that your lives are different, and you're in the people service business. So when you have to take care of other people and you have to take care of yourself at the same time, it's not always easy.
It's the greatest challenge. And look at the water level. And that's where it sat. That's not, it was higher, and then it receded and sat there for weeks.
What I have in my hand is an insert to the next JCC Circle, which is 8 pages of what Jewish Community Centers did in response to Katrina. We're pretty proud of it.
We're not dealing with short-term programming here. We're dealing with long-term strategic planning.
Most of you don't know, but I was the director in LA during the Northridge earthquake. So I know what it is to have a natural disaster, especially when you don't know it's coming. And it was pretty bad. This is the first time that I know of that there was a threat to the survival of the Jewish community, and that's what I've learned. But the fact is that in my pocket I have a check for $250,000. And this is real money. I want you all to be witnesses. It's the only time that the money flows this way.
So this is a song called The Hope. It's a song I wrote a couple years ago. It's a song about Israel and about our hope that we'll always have in Israel. But we make sure that wherever we are, there's a homeland. Today we create a homeland right here in this gymnasium at the JCC. We create community, and this is our home. Okay, New Orleans, I want to hear it loud. Here we go. Get ready. This is the hope. The hope is still real. A Jewish home in Israel.
The JCC is going to be an invaluable part of the regrowing process of our city and our Jewish community.
I think there's a sense of commitment to make this community work again, both as a Jew, but also as a citizens of New Orleans.
Just you all sing, raise it up.
So I foresee the future of our community to be strong. We'll be smaller, but we'll be stronger. And we'll be here to rebuild and make New Orleans a better place. And I'm glad I'm a part of that, and I'm pleased that the JCC will be a part of that.
Thank you all so much, New Orleans. It's been an honor. A huge thank you to the JCC. Make some noise.